You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, Fish fans? Welcome to another episode of Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day every single day. Watch us, listen to us. My name's Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease at Jim Grease _ on social media. 3-2, the Pirates beat the Marlins tonight in Pittsburgh. Paul Skenes strikes out 9, I think 151 on the season, maybe 143. Those two numbers standing out in my head right now. But, man, look at this starter jacket from way back in the mid-90s. WVUM Sports, what you know about that? Top 10, baby. Cam Ward, number 1 in the Heisman race, and it was a great sports weekend in South Florida. You had the Dolphins win. You had the Canes go to 2-0. And, man, the Dolphins won their opener. Canes 2-0. Now the Bills coming in on Thursday to play the Finns. Talk about a tough start to the season, man. You go back-to-back with the Jaguars and that young team and their defense incredible, and then the Bills. But we're talking about the Marlins here today. I already thanked you for making us a part of your day. Every day with your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. And today's sponsor is, FanDuel on a Monday, our title sponsor. Now through September 22nd, I've already done this. You should do it too. All FanDuel customers, and yes, I am one, can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. I just did it. It's easy, but I will say this. Sign up early in the week if you want to watch the NFL games on Sunday. It can take up to 72 hours to get your code to activate it. I spent all morning Sunday. Trust me, Sam Ekstrom, our postcast manager here at Locked On, he was getting messages from me about that whole situation, like, yo, it's not working. And finally, about halfway through the first half, I got it. It was crazy. It was absolutely crap. I'm on Red Zone highlights. That was crazy. So, yeah, man, you got to do it a little bit in advance. Get that code sent to you if you want to check out the games in time. Make sure you do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Tomorrow, maybe Wednesday at the latest. Do not procrastinate. You know what I'm saying? Do not. You're going to hate when you procrastinate. They rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. There you see him right there. This dude revolutionizing pitching from the right-hand side. Yo, I love watching Paul Skenes throw. He's lost velocity. He's got that changeup going, that breaking stuff as he continues to evolve. And he gets older. You're not always going to have that smoke. You stay close to that maybe for a few years, but, you have to learn how to pitch. I don't care how hard you ask Aroldis Chapman. He gave up an RBI-double tonight to Pache. Chapman's never been a great pitcher. He throws gas, but he's never been a great pitcher. You watch Greg Maddux, like, hey, if I'm doing this, I'm throwing there. If I'm doing this, I'm throwing there. Wherever I catch the ball, like how he catches the ball and what he does with the glove, that's the pitch he's throwing next. No wonder the guy needed a personal catcher, Eddie Perez, instead of Xavier Lopez, who was hitting like 30, 40 homers a year for the Braves back then. And every fifth day, Javi Lopez got his day off. Eddie Perez caught Maddux. It was a beautiful combination for the Braves. But with Skenes, man, what a year he had. What a year. 9 strikeouts over 6 innings tonight. They've been stretching him out a little bit, not pitching him as much. Remember Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor? They ruined it for everybody, man. All those years the Cubs could have had with Wood and Pryor. Can you imagine you land prospects, pitchers like that, and they keep getting hurt the way that they did for those guys? But how about Skenes? He did hit 100 6 times. He was 6'6", and obviously he's huge. Big dude, just like Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor, and Dwight Gooden. 4th rookie ever to reach 150 strikeouts in 20 starts or less. Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor, Dwight Gooden. None of those guys made it all the way through. Gooden, with the drugs and the issues in his career, came back to throw the great game with the Yankees, but was never the same as Dr. K. Think about Dr. K mid-'80s. He was the best pitcher in baseball. No one could touch Dwight Gooden. No one could touch Dwight Gooden. The doctor, Dr. K, instead of Dr. J, it was Dr. K. He was in New York City. If he hadn't thrown it away, there was no Robert Downey Jr. ending for Dwight Gooden. If Dwight Gooden hadn't thrown it away, oh, Lord, was he amazing. Trust me, I was 12 years old, 10 years old when he came up, as a matter of fact. I think he came up in 84. I was 10, 12. I can't even add. Anyway, all that matters is Dwight Gooden, Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor reached 150 strikeouts in 20 starts or less, and Skenes has 151. Yeah, I was right the first time, 151. It's not just a strong Bacardi. It's Skenes strikeouts for the season. Bacardi headquartered in Miami. I bet you didn't know that. So is Burger King. Bet you didn't know that either. Oh, gotcha twice. Maybe I didn't. But if I did, you just learned something here on the show. But the way that it ended for Kerry Wood and the way that things worked out for Mark Pryor, it was heartbreaking to watch that. I mean, Kerry Wood should have been Justin Verlander. He should have been. Kerry Wood was amazing, and so was Pryor. The Pirates have to watch Skenes, man. He's 22 years old. That is a franchise pitcher. That is not just a guy who can win 20 games, strike out 150 to 200 and 200 plus every year, fill the ballpark every fifth day, no matter where you go, home, road, social media hits, elevate the entire value of a franchise every time he steps on the field, and they don't want to get him hurt. Unfortunately, when you're talking about the Pirates, you have to say this: Pittsburgh, small market, no more. We are family. Hey, yeah, I got all my teammates with me. You never forget Pops. Remember your kid? Willie Stargell. Come on. Home run. 79 World Series. The We Are Family Pirates, man. My dad took me to see that team on our summer vacation the next year. Bill Madlock hit an RBI double to win the game. What do you know about Bill Madlock? I know a lot about the Pirates over the years. And that once proud franchise, Jim Leland was a manager there. Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla were cornerstones with Andy Van Slyke of a team that could have been so good for so long in Pittsburgh. They had Sid Bream, for God's sake. You know what I'm saying? So, you never forget the run that scores when Bonds made the throw just a skosh late. Barry Bonds, by the way, stop talking about Ohtani. It's embarrassing. Don't even talk about him being the GOAT. All you Gen Zers, all you people who don't know a thing, all you people who haven't even watched the games from years gone by, you get on TikTok, you watch the videos, and you sit there and you go, this guy's better than that guy. No way, LeBron's the GOAT. LeBron is nowhere near Michael Jordan, first of all. Not even close. Not even close. 4 players have won a scoring title, a championship, a finals MVP, scored over 40 a game in the finals. 4 players have done it. You know what their names were? Jordan, and Jordan. Have you ever seen anybody get mugged or killed for a pair of LeBrons? No. Jordan's happens all the time. When you're in a room with the greatest basketball players of all time, 90% of them are wearing Jordans. How many dudes do you know out there wearing LeBrons right now? Come on, man. Come on. Stop talking about this, all right? There is no way that you're going to see baseball ever get back to what it used to be. And I'm talking about the Pirates right now because the Marlins, quite frankly, tonight, not worth talking about. It's about Skenes, it's about the Pirates. And I know we're on the Marlins postcast. We're getting to what the Marlins did tonight, which was nothing until Cristian Pache's RBI double in the 9th inning off of Aroldis Chapman, who we already told you still hasn't learned how to pitch. I'm a Yankees fan. What can I say back in the day? But it's how do I explain this? They're being very careful with young pitchers now. They always have been somewhat careful, but it's been proven scientifically over the years that longer rest, not throwing as often, it's actually not even better for you or your young arm. It doesn't help prevent injuries. Nobody knows the exact science. It's not necessarily how many pitches are in an arm. Nolan Ryan throwing 96 in his 40s after throwing decades of 150 plus starts. Come on. Oh, he's a genetic freak. A lot of guys are. Pitching's an unnatural motion. You got to deal with the stuff that comes. And then you're just going to pay for it later anyway. But they're trying to bolster his bid for Rookie of the Year. And when you're talking about the Pirates, this is not the Dave Parker, Bill Madlock, Willie Stargell, Kent Tekulve, the sidearm closer. These are not the We Are Family Pirates, and these are not the Bonds Bonilla Pirates either. These are the modern-day Pittsburgh Pirates. They have a dope stadium. I love Pittsburgh. I just don't like Steeler fans. I love Pittsburgh. I love that place. I'm from the Northeast. It's a great city. It's a steel town. It's a place where people work for an honest living, and the fans treat the game and the team accordingly. They love Paul Skenes, but when I talk about Pittsburgh, I have to say this. No salary cap like the NFL. Steelers can do it. Pirates can't. They can't. McCutcheon's back only after he went and got the money. They can't do it. They can't compete there. So what you're doing now in your Pittsburgh, you're protecting your investment in 2 ways. One, he stays, and everything I talked about, the gate, the merch, the little fake mustaches, all the different things you can do for Skenes, bobbleheads, you name it. You sell 1 million more tickets because of him, right? Your social media goes up. You can charge more for your TV rights, more for your radio rights, more for your live streams. I don't even think they're doing TV. They're doing streams now in Pittsburgh. But the point is, you can charge a lot more for your sponsors in the ballpark, for everything and everyone when you got this dude filling it up, when you got the national TV cameras, when you have the Major League Baseball MLB app, and you can track your favorite players so it sends you a DM or a notification every time Skenes pitches. That's a lot of money for the Pirates. But even more potentially, even more is the trade. The haul you bring back, prospects from other teams, and that cash on the other side too. And man, oh man. And look, Skenes is not the most efficient pitcher in the world. That's why I say Chapman never learned how to pitch. Wood and Pryor had all the injuries. Gooden had the drugs and other things, unfortunately. The demons, I should say. It's not fair to say that to Doc. I love Doc Gooden. I got to know him a little bit in the 90s and 2000s, and I like that dude a lot. So I'm not going to diss Dr. K, and I wasn't doing it anyway, but I don't want anybody thinking I was. Oneil Cruz hit his 19th homer of the season for the Bucks. Bryan Reynolds, 2-run double off Valente Bellozo. He's 2-3. He went, 6 1/3 tonight. Gave up an earned run. 2 straight wins for Pittsburgh. Pache with a nice job. And the Marlins, you know what? They always bring the tying run to either on base or on at the plate. Xavier Edwards, 2 more hits tonight. Jesus Sanchez, 2 hits tonight. Otto Lopez, 2 hits tonight. Man, it was great, you know. Cruz with a 440-foot shot to straightaway center off Bellozo in the first. The ball just tailed out right into the hitting zone. It's smack. Smack, 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 smack. And Xavier Edwards did have a costly error tonight that Jonah Bride couldn't handle the throw. He short-hopped the routine throw. Bride should have picked it, but I was a first baseman for a long time. Bride should have picked it, but it's Edwards' error. But if you're playing first in the bigs, you should pick everything. Nothing should bounce off of you, should get by you. If you can get a glove on it as a first baseman, and they're all huge in the big leagues, you should catch everything. I'm sorry, you just should. But, you know, I mean, Nick Gonzalez with a double, runners in scoring position, and then, Reynolds, 3-run lead, man, and that was it. And, you know, Skenes rose this year quicker than a lot of people thought he would. And here he is at the end of the year pitching really well. But I got to get to a break. I didn't realize it's getting so late up in here. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehopper, call me, Grease. Let's talk more about Skenes, Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor, Randy Johnson. How do you keep a power pitcher healthy throughout his career? Is it throwing every 2 days? Is it extra rest? Who knows? I don't think anybody knows. I don't think the doctors know. I don't think these teams know. I don't think the scientists know. I don't think there is a science. And I don't care what anybody else says. That's the beauty of being me. I'll be back right after these words to talk more about Skenes and the Pirates, the 9th inning rally that fell short for the Marlins, and the rookie strikeout record for Skenes. Game 2 tomorrow. What are we going to do? It's been a long year. Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehopper, call me, Grease. Back right after this. Because of the wonderful things he does. Did I just actually sing The Wizard of Oz on this show? You never know what song I'm going to sing during a commercial. You've heard us talk about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. You've heard me tell you about my deposit. Thank you, Dolphins, for covering by 3. The dreaded win no cover. I had it on the total of the game, and I had the Fins pegged. It was 3.5. They had to put that extra half on there, and yeah, it got me. But I had a lot more fun watching the game, and I only bet $5. I would have won 12 on the parlay. I'm not a rich man, but I like to have fun. You can do it too with FanDuel. A little different for you now, though. Through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers, that means every one of y'all, can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, here's where it gets really good. You're going to be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. And by the way, all you need is Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. But do it earlier in the week, guys, because it's 72 hours to get that code. So don't do it after Wednesday. Don't make the same mistakes I've made. I've used that one a lot over the last 22 years since my firstborn came into this world. Do not do as I do as I say. If you do as I say, you'll always get it right. If you do as I do, you'd be in big trouble. See how I get? Lead by example. You try it. No one can lead by example. We're not perfect. We all know what to do when we say it. We all screw it up all the time. So don't follow people's lead just by example. Follow the words. It works for people who read the Bible. I'm just saying, in Tony Robbins' books and other things like that. Thank you for making Locked On Marlins postcast your first listen every day. For your second listen, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast with Paul Sullivan here every day, giving you that national expertise with that trademark humor, making you laugh, but at the same time getting you ready for the MLB playoffs in the dog days of summer as they end right now. Thank God. Literally, thank God. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully. Going to be a great one this year with these races, these teams, these superstars all over the place. Sully's got you covered every single day on Locked On MLB. Available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And obviously, you're talking about Apple Podcasts. You're talking about Spotify. You name it, man. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Here on the YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami. And that is right. We left that up there for a while for you too, FanDuel. You know you love us and we love you. Got a lot of people signing up through the network. That's for sure. We have a ton of people on FanDuel now. All right, Jim Greashopper, call me Grease. Segment 2, Locked On Marlins postcast. Going to be a short one, so we'll keep it on Skenes and the Pirates. What they're trying to do is get them through the first year healthy. All right, they finished up a 9-game homestand with 3 against the Royals over the weekend. He could potentially start the finale. I have a different philosophy for what the Pirates could and should be doing, and I actually should look at this more first before I just spout off at the mouth. Like you can kind of do that these days, right? You don't have to just there we go. You don't have to just spout off at the mouth. You can actually look things up and see things. But, man, the Pirates they literally, remember when they traded for DLC and they got some bullpen help and they kind of thought they had a team, with Reynolds having the year he's been having and, Oneil Cruz and McCutchen hasn't had the best year. But with that team, with Aroldis Chapman and with the pitching that they've had this year, and then they bring in and they have Skenes come in, ends up starting the All-Star game. So they start to make a couple of moves. But you're looking at 11-9, Mitch Keller, 7-7, Bailey Falter. They got 6-5, 6-7, Ortiz and Jones. And then, you got 5-5, Chapman out of the bullpen. He's got 22 holds. And you know what I'm saying? It's just not 23 saves for Bednar, David Bednar. Chapman's not the closer. So it's just different with the Pirates these days, but they really fell after the trade deadline. They literally fell off a cliff. They have been long gone since that time. But Skenes, man, that's been the bright spot. 20 starts, 14 quality starts, 10 wins, 2 losses, 28 earned runs in 120 innings, 151 strikeouts. Those are Randy Johnson numbers. Those are Roger Clemens numbers. Those are Dwight Gooden numbers. Potentially could get there. Potentially. Kerry Wood struck out 20 in a game. Verlander. Think of your big power pitchers, man. Randy Johnson, Clemens, Gooden, Verlander, Kerry Wood. These dudes just blew smoke at you. Nolan Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Bob Feller, Bob Gibson, the real power pitchers of Major League Baseball over the years. And a lot of times they've been smaller guys, but for the most part, they've been these big horses. Clemens, a monster throughout his whole career. Say what you want about the Rocket. They talk about the juice. He went to Toronto. You see the marked difference when he came out with the blonde hair with the Blue Jays in those 2 years he had in Toronto when he was untouchable for 2 straight years. In Toronto, if you guys remember how great Roger Clemens was in Toronto, Randy Johnson, an all-time great, but Skenes, the big, tall, he reminds you of Kerry Wood. He really does. The body frame, it reminds me of Kerry Wood. Big, tall right-hander, Justin Verlander, those 2 guys, Wood and Verlander. And I don't know if they're doing the right things or not, but as I look at their schedule moving forward, the Pirates here, the Buccos, and it seems so long. Barry Bonds was a Pirate. Barry Bonds was a Pirate. The best player in the history of the game. They let him go. San Francisco. I still remember the deal. It was either 6 or 7 years, $42 million, and everyone went nuts. And then the Giants won 101 games or 100 games, and the Braves won 1 more when they were both in the NL East. How that happened, I have no idea. Major League Baseball ran itself into the ground for 30 years. I'm surprised it's still around. They're doing better now, much better. They almost wiped themselves off the face of the earth, without a doubt. So you've got, let's see, for Pittsburgh, yeah, he might pitch the final game of the Royals series, which would be in 5 days. Then it goes to the road trip. See, if they're smart, the 16th is a 6-game road trip. Pitch him on the 15th against Kansas City. Pitch him on the 24th against Milwaukee, and that's it. That's his last. You got to have 2 more home starts for Skenes. You have to. You have to. You need the money. You need the crowd. You need the fans there, the merch sales, the fake mustaches, the jerseys, everything. You need that. You need Skenes on the mound in that game. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. The ninth inning rally came up short on Pache's double. The rookie K record for Skenes of the Pirates. Game 2 is tomorrow. What can we look forward to in the next matchup between these two teams? The Pirates haven't selected a starting pitcher. The Marlins haven't. He's been pretty good in his 2 starts so far, but he hasn't been great, and he hasn't gone deep into games. Yeah, it's Adam Oller. All or nothing on the mound tomorrow. It's your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, here every day. You everydayers know this on the Locked On Podcast Network. All right. I have to tell you something, and you guys know this, being in South Florida, it's all about the ride, right? I mean, you saw the car with Tyreek Hill. Everybody's got a dope whip in South Florida, and I will tell you this, passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. We're talking superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. That's right. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your fit is guaranteed to fit your ride. Your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Wrapping it up on your Locked On Marlins postcast on your Monday. Almost forgot what, man. Yeah, Skenes, they got to pitch him at home these next 2 times. Real bright spot for the Pirates, but, you know, they were in the postseason mix until August, and that's a lot to say for that team. Skenes gave him a big boost in that department, but he couldn't do it by himself. Let's see where the season series is between these 2 teams now. Pittsburgh, wow, Pittsburgh's 5-0 against Miami. Oh, they played them to start the season. That's right, 4. Yeah, they got them 4 in a row. That's all March. That's the season opening series. That's what happened. They lost those 4 in a row to the lowly Pirates, and then the Marlins ended up with a 9-game skid to start the season. And then tonight they lose the 5th. They haven't played since then. Can you imagine you open the season against a team, you lose 9 in a row after playing them to start the season? You've had a miserable year. 4, I believe, at least 3 5-game losing streaks, a couple of 6-game losing streaks, a ton of 10-run games allowed, a bunch of times shut out, 69 players in the lineup throughout the year. 15 starting pitchers, 13, 15, whatever it is. And it's been that kind of year. And you think back to the last time they saw the Pirates back in Miami in March, and you look at them now. In those months, April, May, June, July, August, in 5 months and a week since they saw them. They've continued what they started with Pittsburgh. They're 54-90 on the year. And tomorrow it's Adam Oller's job. We'll get to that in a minute. Tonight, you had 3 guys with 2 hits. You had Edwards 2 for 4. You had Sanchez 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. You had Lopez 2 for 4 with an RBI. Pache 1 for 1 with the RBI coming in the game late. The Pirates got the home run from Oneil Cruz. 2 RBIs from Reynolds on the base hit. That. 2 hits from McCutchen on the pitchers. Bellozo 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run. And, of course, they scored 3 runs. So the Marlins with more errors. And I want to get to that in just a minute before we wrap the show. But the bullpen was good again tonight. Scoreless for Lake Bacher, Veneziano, and Bowman. And then Skenes went 6 for the Pirates. Holderman and Santana were scoreless. And then Chapman gave up 2 hits in the run. Doesn't he always seem to do that? He's got the 2 strikeouts. But, yeah, just crazy all the way across the board with that one. Let's look at the play-by-play here. And I just want to touch on that one just real quick. Let's see the scoring plays, and we'll be right there. Where are we at? Okay. We are, right there for Reynolds single in the bottom of the second. That was the one where Edwards made the throw that Bride couldn't handle. So Sanchez in the top of the second strikes out swinging. Bride singles, Conine strikes out, Lopez reaches, and Stowers grounds to first. They were getting to Skenes a little bit in the second. He had an easy first inning, got him a little bit in the second, weren't able to really capitalize. Pirates come up in the bottom of the second and add 2 more after the homer by Oneil. So the Marlins had Skenes on the ropes in the second, didn't get anything off him. Bellozo pitching for Miami in the second. Grandal pops out. Triolo flies out. 2 outs, nobody on. This is when it gets crazy. Williams, easy ground ball to Edwards. Bad throw to Bride. He should have picked it. I'd give half the error to Bride, honestly speaking. I was first baseman. Pick the damn ball, Jonah. Pick the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good throw. I'll give you that. It wasn't, but it should have been picked. And Gonzalez singles. Williams goes to third. Gonzalez goes to second. And that was obviously Williams to third, Gonzalez to second. And ended up taking second. Then Reynolds singles to right and scores both of them. So that was the maddening part, is it was an easy routine play. Short-armed it, Edwards did, and Bride couldn't pick it. And that kind of stuff just pisses you off. There's no need for that. There's absolutely no need for that on a baseball field. And we've seen just too much of it this year. So what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? It's the Marlins. It's happened all year long, and there's not a whole heck of a lot you're going to do about it. Let's take a look real quick at the scoreboard and the standings on the way out. Of course, these two teams way out of it. Pirates long gone. You'll be long gone. All right, and they are long gone. Let's see. The Yankees beat the Royals 10-4. Austin Wells with a big home run for the Yanks. The Dodgers trailing the Cubs 3-0 in the bottom of the third. Marlins lost to the Pirates 3-2. You heard that. Phillies beat the Rays 2-1 at home. Cody Clemens walks it off. We talked about Roger Clemens in the show. That'll be fun in the tags. Put them both in there. Reds 1, Braves nothing. What a nice, that's a makeup from July 24th. Ty France with an RBI double. Mets 3, Blue Jays 2. Mets score the go-ahead run on a pass ball. Red Sox blew out the Orioles 12-3. Back-to-back homers for Rob Refsnyder and Tyler O'Neill. 6-2, Angels top the Twins. Guardians 5, White Sox 3. David Fry's 14th home run. But, man, the White Sox, 33-112. As bad as the Marlins have been, and they have been horrible. They've won 54 games. They have 7 more wins, 6 more wins, 5 more wins per month. 5 more wins per month than the White Sox. And they're 54-90. 54-90, and you have 5 more wins per month. Yeah, that ain't going to work for me. I don't know about y'all, but that ain't going to work for me. We'll tell you how that's going. But, hey, I'll tell you this, man. It's been, at times, a good year. You always have something to look forward to every night. They had Chapman on the mound. They had Skenes on the mound before that. 2 guys throwing over 100. And the Marlins still had the go-ahead run at the plate in the top of the 9th inning. They seem to do that all the time. Tomorrow's game is coming up, and no pitcher named yet for the Pirates. Let's see here what we got. We got Adam Oler for the Marlins, and we're going to give you that info in a second here. We'll go through the line of the game and all that stuff and all that jazz. There's the theme of Chicago and the Wizard of Oz in the same show. You never know what you're going to get here. And I'm a hip-hop head. Just like a good music producer. You never know what kind of music you got to throw in. Anytime. That's what you need to do. All right, so it looks like the Pirates have picked a starter for tomorrow. And that must have just come after the game, because before that it was unreported and it was that they were decided. It's Carmen Mlodzinski. What a name for Pittsburgh. He is 2-5 with a 3.73. That's a Pirates pitcher's record. Adam Oller, 1-2 with a 4.15 for the Marlins. And Oller, his last time out. And he hasn't made many starts, you remember. Pitched against the Phillies. 5 1/3, 4 earned runs. But before that, he had a 0 and a 1. 6 innings and 5 2/3. No runs and 1 earned run. Before that, a 5 spot against the Diamondbacks. So he's pitched against 2 really good teams, Arizona and Philly. They ripped him. Cubs and Giants, they didn't. And we'll see what happens against the Pirates tomorrow. And you're looking at this game. Before we get on out of here, have some dinner, late dinner. It's a 6:40 first pitch. Oller and Mlodzinski. No odds on this game yet. All right, there it is. I would love to thank you, and you, but mostly you, for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen today. Now go check out Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully. He's got it covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description, so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Keep your game right and your mind I said it wrong. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. It's my catchphrase. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. 3-2 Pirates. We are out. Talk to you tomorrow on the Locked On Marlins Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.